What if you could know the price of tomatoes, rice, onions, or pepper before stepping into the market? That's the problem Bango is solving. Bango is a commodity price intelligent platform helping consumers access real-time food prices through crowdsourced market data. Founded by Ademoyiwa Tofik and Caleb Adenegan, it enables users to compare prices, make informed buying decisions, and avoid overpaying. Through its shopper feature, users can buy food items directly from farmers at farm price, promoting greater transparency in Nigerians' food markets. Welcome to Gift Unwraps, where we showcase African innovation and tell inspiring stories of powerful entrepreneurs. My name is Gift, and today I am with one of the co-founders of Bango, Caleb. You're welcome.
Thank you for having me, Gift.
Okay, so Africa has lots of challenges, and this means lots of opportunities. What do you think is the key to creating valuable solution?
One of the most important features in terms of building solutions that actually work for Africa is actually listening. You have to listen to what the African populace or what the market or what the people are actually clamoring for or what problems they're experiencing. Because oftentimes we actually take solutions from somewhere else, we replicate it and try to localize it to fit our ecosystem, and then we bring it. Take, for instance, the payment system, payment gateway, which are, of course, very good innovation or very good approach to building things. But oftentimes we've seen that at some point, the real African problems that are quite indigenous to us or quite unique to us still remain. And it's why I think one of the best way of providing solutions to Africa is to listen so that we can actually build solutions that are unique to us, that are unique to our problem, and we solve those problems. Instead of having sort of like a makeshift solution from somewhere else, try to put a makeup around it and make it appear appealing to us as locals. And at the end of the day, the core functionality is not indigenous to us and it doesn't work. So I think the most important thing is to actually listen.
Okay, so not just importing technologies, but actually creating something
Yes.
that meets our specific needs.
Exactly.
Okay, I would like to ask, what specific needs did you see creating Bango?
So, of course, I have a partner, Mr. Ademiwa. So there was this period during the festive period, Salah, during his Muslim festive period. So he wanted to buy a basket of tomato for his family to celebrate Salah. And then he went to the market. It was being quoted prices that it didn't sound
Ridiculous.
real, right? They're paying 6 figures for a basket of tomato. It really didn't make sense, right? So he went on Twitter and made a tweet. People tried to justify it and say, oh, transport, festive period, things like that. And then he tried to prove them wrong, right? He called his sister and then they sent tomato, I think from Jos or Sokoto or thereabouts. And the price of a basket of tomato that I was going to pay 6 figures on, and then including the logistics fee down to his house, was like 1/10 or way cheaper than
What was
what he would have
previously
paid.
charged?
So yeah, exactly. So it was like there's a market somewhere that actually sells cheaper than what you can you can actually buy for in Lagos. But he didn't know except until he actually made like that informed decision to get it cheaper, and he made calls, reach this one, call this one, and then we figured out that if we could create sort of like a system that where people could inform each other, and instead of having to call this one, do you know this one, do you know that one, you could actually go on a platform and compare experiences and call someone and say, okay, yeah, I saw that this person bought a tomato or bought this particular thing from you at this price. I also want to buy it. So we thought of that and we came up with Bango. And the thing is, Bango is built on something that has always been cultural, but over time got eroded over due to the new real estate realities, right? The way we live currently. So we do speak a lot to each other, right? We have mothers that will speak to each other and tell each other as neighbors, right? They'll tell you, I got this meat from this seller in the market. He actually sold it for me really good, and it was really cheap. So whenever you go to the market and you want to buy
You're
meat,
looking for that particular person.
yeah, go
where
to
she
the person.
bought
Exactly.
hers.
So that's how we were able to not only communicate value, but also reward those traders that are actually doing right by the buyers. So that was the system. But over time, we started living in estates and we don't talk to neighbors.
Yeah.
People started taking pride in not even knowing their neighbors and things like that.
Individualism.
So exactly, it became an individualistic society. And that system got eroded where people don't even want you to know what they're buying or where they're buying from or who they're buying from. So we created a system where you don't necessarily need to know me, but I can still inform you, right? So you don't need to go to the market blind. And it became very apparent, very obvious to us. It became quite conspicuous to us while the importance of what we're building when we started doing our early stages of marketing, where we had to go to the market. And there was this real life scenario where you see someone was about to buy crayfish, a custard sized bucket of crayfish, and she was being quoted a price. The price she was being quoted was like quite high, and then while she was bargaining, she removed fee. The seller was like, okay, she deducted some part of it, and the buyer was like very happy because she felt like the seller was doing her a favor. So then we pitched Bango to her while she was in front of the store, and we told her Bango and all of those, and that she can check what other people are paying for that commodity in the market. That people like her. Then she checked and she saw that she was paying almost times two of what someone else in that market sells that crayfish for. So at that moment, she felt like, wow. And then she didn't have to go to that person. While that same store where she was going to buy at that exorbitant price, she became more informed and she had a better negotiating power. And she actually bought way cheaper than even what the person bought from that same seller. So we can see how information changed the narrative or changed the buyer's approach to commodity. And guess what? At the end of the day, the major focus has always been to help household or individuals save money on food items because the data has shown that Nigerian or Africa at large, most especially Nigeria, we spend about more than 60% of our income on food. So how do you expect an economy to grow or people to invest when they spend all their money on trying to not die from hunger? So we believe at that, because take for instance now, she probably saved 20% or 30% on that custard or that size of crayfish by just having something as simple as information.
Okay. If there's anything Bango is trying to do is price transparency.
Yes.
Okay. How can we really trust?
So the thing is, it's being uploaded by buyers, right?
Okay.
So the question you have to yourself, like, what incentive do buyers have to lie? So now, if a seller tries to imitate a buyer, they actually try to put a cheaper price as to the commodity. I think you cannot beat this kind of system because the system regulates itself. If you claim to be cheaper and people come to your place and buy it and don't buy it at that price that has been uploaded on your listing, it's simple. They could actually raise or flag that price data and maybe flag the data, send us a message and say, okay, this seller is not accurate or things like that. Or guess what? It's not peculiar to one trader. So because I went to, let's say, we're in Abuja, let's say we go to Garaki Market, and I buy something from someone in Garaki Market, let's say tomato, and I uploaded it. Or the person, a seller is imitating a buyer and uploaded it. The thing is, he's not the only one selling tomato there.
Yeah, actually.
And there are other people that are going to Garaki Market. So it's a system that rewards sellers that do well by the buyers because it's sort of like buyers being happy to advertise people that actually do them well. So you cannot actually beat the system. The system will find a way to always correct it.
Okay, interesting. I would also like to know, what was your biggest challenges starting this business?
So one of the biggest challenges is actually because for Bango to work, you need people to contribute prices. You need buyers to actually share their experience.
Oh, okay.
So it took a while for you because I spoke earlier about we becoming sort of an individualistic society where people are always just looking out for themselves, right? It was quite difficult trying to explain to everyone that this is how we build a society that actually works for us. This is how we build a market that actually works for us. This is how we build a food ecosystem that actually works for us. Because we need to be able to speak to each other,
yes,
right? So getting people to contribute to Bango, it took a while.
Convince them.
Yeah, and we really pride ourselves on not running ads because it's the kind of commodity where you have to connect with people and let them see
referral.
Yes, and sort of like we did actual traditional marketing. We went down to the market. We went to places to convince people. Then over time, word of mouth started spreading. We did social media. We never ran any ads. So we just got friends and family, talk about it. People just elaborate and sort of like elaborate what we're working on. So it took a while for us to convince people. It's one of our biggest challenges, convincing people to contribute the data. But I mean, we're glad. We have over 2,500 users at the moment. So we believe it's not been a bad experience.
Okay,
so far.
how long is it for?
It's been, I think, about 8 months that we started.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay, so can you tell us any story of, any testimony of one of your users What changed?
I think with Bango most especially, right? We did when Arsenal won the league, champions of England.
Interesting.
We did a small hangar for Arsenal fans that use Bango. So we had like men. So apparently, so one thing people don't understand is that men actually do go to market for their wives. Yeah. So
That's beautiful.
but the thing is that they're so they're so unaware of market experiences that you tell them, oh, this thing is 1 million naira. They'll be like,
Okay.
how much last? Now they are 99,000.
Yes.
And they feel like they got the best price by moving 1,000 naira.
Yes.
So they don't really know. So one of people were like talking about how these days, one of the things that Bango does for them is that whenever they go to the market, they don't even stress themselves. They just go on Bango and check what other people are paying across the country, different markets, and even that same market. So when they approach a seller, for instance, it's like they speak with confidence.
Bargain from the
Because they know
standpoint
that
of, being
there's a
informed.
bench price. If somebody can buy it 5,000 naira, I should not be able to buy. I should not pay more than
More
5,000
than
naira.
5 or even 7,000.
Yeah,
max.
I should pay less than that 5,000 naira instead.
Okay.
So they bargain from that, and it makes them feel really good. You know, the thing about negotiation is that it
So
makes
are you
you.
trying to say the Bango is more for the men?
No. That's not what I'm saying, right? Even helps women because over time, women. But the thing about Bango that makes it more fun is that buyers share the details of the seller. Of course, they have to take consent from the seller. We are very big on that. But the thing about it is that sellers that do even now convince buyers to like, if you buy from them, they will convince you to share the experience on Bango, which has actually been good for because we got during the last Christmas, 25 liters of King's Oil was selling at a very exorbitant price somewhere in I think in Lagos. And then there's another market in that same Lagos where the 25 King's Oil was selling at a very, very reasonable price. So somebody saw it. He had almost paid for the other one, and then he saw it, and he just called the seller. And the seller, he didn't even have to go to the market. He told the seller, oh, I saw this, that you sell this thing on Bango. I saw that somebody bought this thing from you at Bango. And then he bought about, I think, 20, 25 kegs of it from seller. So that was a lot of volume for a lot of profit also for the seller at that point, which actually made us happy. We have people that send us mail and tell us how exciting, because it's not something you feel like is needed until you actually use it. When you use it and then you see how much you've been able to save just by going to the market equipped with information, and it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing, and the prices are kind of accurate because it's like I didn't even know I could get this commodity at this price.
Like my experience.
Okay.
When I used it.
Oh, you've used Bango?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. I did. So when I used it, I think for me, what's that for me was first, the price were very affordable. Yes, that's
Okay.
one. And then two, everything I got was fresh.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about Shopper.
Okay, that's the shopper.
Yes, it's a feature on Bango.
What's the relationship now?
So Bango actually informs you, right? But over time, sometimes where some of these commodities are being sold for very cheap, they're out of reach, right? If you're in Abuja now, a commodity might be selling very cheap at Orange Market, and you're like, oh my God, I could save 5,000 naira on this commodity, but who wants to go to Orange Market stressed and all of those things? And then you just have no choice than to settle for the expensive price in Wuse Market, for instance. So what we've done is that, considering the fact that the price contribution over time has given us access to a large network of farmers, right? And we've been deliberately creating this. We now said, people don't just want to know. People want to be able to access those cheap commodities, right? Because you see things in, let's say, commodities in Niger State, or look at the story of Miwa having to go all the way to, I think, Jos or Sokoto, they're about to get that cheap basket of tomato, right? Even despite the distance, it was still way cheaper than what we would have bought. So what we did with Shopper was that we created a feature where we not only inform you, but we also grant you the access, right? That you can actually get those commodities at farmer's price. Yes. So you get it directly from the farmers at farm's price. So it helps. I mean, I think that's one of the ones.
Yeah,
That's
honestly,
one used,
for
that's
me,
why it was so fresh.
it was fresh, it was affordable,
Yes.
and then it took away that market stress.
Yeah, it just been.
And like I'm in the comfort of my home. And
So people used to
get
assume
feedback.
like easy is supposed to come expensive, but that's what we're trying to do with Bango. Like you don't have to break the bank just because you want to save time, save stress, and even save money. So you can do it all affordable, because at the end of the day, we want you to be able to save money. If people are able to spend way less getting food, they'll be able to spend more money investing, in startups like ours or companies like ours, investing in other things that actually make them richer. And that's how we believe you grow an economy.
Okay, so it's 8 months now. What
Yes.
would you say is the most, your biggest milestone?
So our biggest milestone, aside the user, has been the real life testimonies to testimonials. Like it's been amazing seeing random people just tell you like, "Oh, I saw Bango truck, I saw a Bango car in my estate," and I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Oh my god." I actually used Shopper by Bango and it was amazing. And they tell, "Oh my god, I use Bango." Caleb, you get calls from Lagos and they're like, "Caleb, are you the Bango guy?" I said, "Yeah, I'm one of the Bango guys." So it's been actually amazing when people actually experience this product and they feel the magical. They don't just feel the magic of it. They actually do use it. It's. I still remember one of the experiences I was being told. The person was really just sharing a random experience and about his Bango and Shopper experience, and I was almost tearing up because it felt like I didn't have an idea of what we were building. So that, like, I didn't know how powerful it was or how powerful it's going to get until that person was like telling the story. So to me, I think that's been the most exciting part of it.
Talk about the technology. Who's the brain behind the tech?
So we can't say there's one person brain behind the tech, right?
Okay.
Of course, Mr. Amiwa was the one that actually faced the problem itself. But the thing about our partnership has been the synergy, right? It's not just Bango, it's been across all boards. It's like we call in the morning, in the midnight, and guys are bouncing off each other, and then we come, and after the call, we're like, yeah, I think we just cooked up something great. So it's been really, really, it's been a, what's the word? I don't know this, is it mutualism or something like that? It's been a teamwork most especially. And then we have one of the most exciting dev teams, very, very small crack teams that you could actually find. It's the desire to grow, desire to try new things, desire to experiment that has been our driving force. So all across board, from the front end to the back end to the product designer, they've been amazing people. They've been amazing people. So it's generally a teamwork. It's a teamwork. Actually, you can't even say one person is the brain. It's just a collection of geniuses. I would say.
Okay, what's your plan let's say in the next 5 years? What's your plan in Nigeria, across Africa?
So the goal of Bango is to reduce the food spend, household food spend. We want to be able to get people to eat, just not quality, eat a lot, but also be able to save money on food. So on Father's Day, we went out and we spoke to fathers, and it was an emotional experience because I went with the creative team. It was an emotional experience when you see how much these fathers make a month and how much they have to spend on feeding their family. And it really doesn't, it's heartbreaking. And whilst this food they're spending so much on food, we still have a high wastage volume or percentage of these fresh commodities that's being farmed. So like it doesn't make sense. So we realize that to be able to fix this problem, right, which is as simple as it's simple to say, right, reduce food spend, right, reduce household spend on food. You need to be able to control all the elements in the ecosystem from production to distribution to
Logistics.
storage. So those are the three things. Those are the three pillars that we want to focus on. And over time, we started from a bottom-up approach, consumer-based product, information. It lets you know that it is expensive in your area doesn't mean it's expensive in another area. That somebody else they're buying it at this price doesn't mean another person is buying it at the same price. We started with that. We also started with, you know what? These farmers don't sell it at this price, though, but we can actually make you create a system where you can actually buy it at the farmer's price instead of having to go all through the house. So we've done that. So over time, we'll be expanding more, but we want to make sure that we are the determinant or determining factor in ensuring that from the moment the seed goes into the floor, we're controlling everything so that by the time the food comes out and ends up on the table, that man, that woman would have spent less than they should have spent on that commodity.
Interesting. For young African innovators,
Yes.
what advice would you give to them?
I'm also a young African.
Yes, your colleagues.
To be honest, I think it's just I'm very big on failure, right? I feel like people should actually, especially young people,
They should Go through the process.
Yes, like you should desire to even want to fail. Like just don't care about, don't be, because the fear of failure kind of hinders innovation, right? You should embrace it. Like if it works, fine. If it doesn't work, you learn from it, you move on. Because at the end of the day, experience makes good judgment. But what makes experience is bad judgment.
Okay, yes.
So you need to,
learn
yeah,
from
especially in the
mistakes.
young age where you can afford to fail as much as possible. Fail quick, fail a lot. As a young innovator, that's my advice for them.
Looking at the agricultural sector, if I want to create a solution, what kind of solution would you advise I create?
So, I, if I if I give any idea now, I hope you promise not to build it.
I mean, the sky is wide.
So, I think most especially is you need to just understand, dissect the ecosystem, dissect the ecosystem, and look at your resources, look at the easiest, which of those subsector in the agricultural sector do you feel like you can have the most impact with it, with the smallest ability your resources can build, with the smallest tool your resources can build? Because building an MVP, which is a minimum viable product, is like the smallest version of whatever big idea that you have, right?
Yes.
But a lot of things that contribute to that development of that idea or that product, which is skill, financial resources, or wherever circumstances around you. Look at all the things you have and look at which of the sector do you think you can afford to build that small MVP with the resources you have and have an effect in. I think that's it, because the agricultural sector, especially the informal sector, which is where we want to be in, is big enough. Like, it's very big. The informal sector, especially the food side of things, is really, really large. And that's one of the places we want to play in. But the entire sector is big. So you have to just find a very, very small place where you don't have to solve the problem for everybody. That's the thing. You pick one person at a time, solve that problem for the person, and then gradually
Can expand.
Yes.
If need be.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Caleb.
It was an honor. Yeah.
Okay, so for my listeners, for my viewers, for my
Okay.
fans. Okay, so if they want to connect with
For
Bango
Gift
Shopper,
fans out there, if you want to connect with, you can actually check out Bango on www.bango.ng. You can check price updates and even share your market experiences on there. You can share, if you go to market and you buy things, you can share the commodity you bought, where you bought it from, which market, share the seller, the name and phone number of the seller. That others that are going to that market can have like some sort of informed data. They can know what the previous person bought, at what price the previous person bought that particular commodity at the market. So it helps them. And then for those of us in Abuja, because right now Shopper is only live in Abuja, because it's important that we sort of perfect every small phase of every product before we say we want to go scale big. It's currently live in Abuja, and you can actually access that on www.shopper.bango.ng for people that want to have access to this farm fresh commodity at farmer's price. I mean, it's not enough for you to know. You can always get these cheap commodities. You can buy them, and if you're in certain areas or estates, and I think that's one of the things we didn't talk about, which is the delivery. So we have a system on Shopper where if you and a quite number of people are ordering at the same time, maybe in your estate or in your association or your workplace, for every number of person that joins it, the delivery fee reduces by about 20%. So if you are, as an individual, you have to pay 2,000 naira. So if more people join, the 2,000 naira reduces by like 500, 400, thereabouts, to so that we encourage, we allow you save more, not just on the food commodity, but also on logistics.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for me, I think my take home today is the fact that if you want to create solution, you should create something indigenous.
Yes.
Don't just look at what other people are doing and copy. No, it's what do these people need. So I like the fact that your solution is actually helping the indigenous problem, which is especially shopper. It helps with the pricing, price transparency, affordability, and of course, it takes away the stress.
I mean,
of
you've
market
experienced it.
runs.
That's why I feel like
Yes.
that's what is informing.
So for me, it's the shopper for me. I don't like market runs, and I like the
Yes.
fact that I could just sit the comfort of my house, get freshers at most affordable price.
Yes.
I like it.
That's what matters the most to us.
All right. Thank you so much for coming.
It's an honor.
Thank you so much. This is where we draw the curtains and give some wraps. Remember to subscribe, share the video. Bye for now.